little hiccup. I'm not quite sure what happened. My PS4 is set up right next to my router, so I can see my router. And it didn't flicker. Power didn't flicker. Nothing happened. Didn't have an outage. It just stopped broadcasting. So I cycled my router and restarted my PlayStation, and that seems to have done the trick. I guess we'll just get an extra long stream. Gonk droid.
Thanks, BD.
I don't even remember what I was talking about before.
The Force showed me something on Zepho. Memories of someone named O-Star.
My partner. He distracted the stormtroopers so I could escape with our daughter. He was always impulsive. Is he...
Yeah. I found his body.
Part of me wanted to believe he...
I meant...
I'm so sorry.
No,
I meant, is
don't
he...
I'm glad I know the truth.
Is he healthy? I didn't actually know that he...
You alright?
I just received an encrypted transmission.
From Saw?
From my father. My daughter's made it to Chandrila. She's safe.
That's wonderful news.
It's the best news I've heard since coming here. Still, it's hard being away from her.
Yeah. So yeah, so if you remember when we were on Zepho, when we were going through the village and going through various areas, we found Force echoes of these people, refugees running away and hiding and talking about hiding their child and all that stuff. This is that lady. She got off of Zepho and joined Saw's mercenaries. And she just talked about how her daughter's safe on another planet. And there you go. Ta-da. Don't scream at me. You don't have to do that. I guess we'll just go back to the ship.
Hey, Seer.
Cal, good to see you back in one piece. Mari Kosan contacted
Nice
us. We know you
ass.
couldn't find Tarful.
I love risking our lives for
What
nothing.
those lips do.
It wasn't for nothing. Mari and Choysic will come through.
I like your optimism. We could all use a little of that now and then.
Hey, I'm a positive guy, too. I'm positive that if I die, I'll be very upset.
You did good, Cal. We might not have found Tarful yet, but you saved lives today. Don't forget that.
Thanks.
Alright, so I'm gonna go. We got some seeds to plant. You see that bogling that we picked up right there? He's in the little air ducts. He's right there.
Hey, kid, nice one on the seed collecting, but the terrarium's still got plenty of room. So, you know, get out there and get me some seeds.
Sure, Grease. Whatever you say.
I'm gonna go ahead and meditate and do a little lightsaber work. I guess we'll just have a extra long stream today. But yeah, I was saying what happened before you pop back in. My router's next to my PS4, and it didn't turn off, or I didn't have a brownout or anything. It just stopped broadcasting. So I had to reset my router. I'm gonna do that, and for the sleeve, no, that's just kind of dull. No, we'll do that. That's kind of cool. Yeah, we'll do that. That's nifty. I like how that looks. Normally it just happens with my phone. Normally, like when I'll wake up, like I'll try to check my messages and it won't work, and then I have to turn my Wi-Fi on my phone off and then turn it on again, and it'll work. All right.
Where to, kid?
So I'm gonna go ahead and go back to Zepho. I think there's some stuff that we can get on Bogano, but it's really not worth going back there just quite yet. So we're just going to go ahead and travel
Back to Zepho.
Can't really do
Back
anything on
to Zepho,
Dathomir
huh?
yet either.
The Empire might have found a Zepho tomb. We can't waste any time.
Pity. Heard about a high-stakes game from one of Saw's fighters. A few extra credits couldn't hurt, you know?
Gambling. Grease, use your head. One of these days, the Haxian brood is going to catch up with you.
Those slubs? I'll hear them coming from a parsec away.
I don't need your gambling habit causing us more trouble with murderous criminal syndicates.
You're right, I know it. I just want to blow off some stress every once in a while, you know? Anyway, all of that is in the past. I'm sure it won't be a problem.
Narrator, it will be a problem.
Sit down, kid, it's time to land.
Remember what Grease says about that, about the Haxian brood. So I'm going to go ahead and change my outfit here to just that.
There's a long journey ahead of us. These ancient tombs didn't survive all this time because they were easy to find.
It's a challenge I'm willing to take.
I can see that. I'm glad you believe in what we're trying to accomplish.
I always have. Ever since I was a youngling, I trusted in the Force. Those names on the list, they're a test. And I believe I will succeed.
I like your confidence. A journey like this one can challenge you in ways you've never been before.
I understand. I think I'm ready.
We've got your back, Cal.
All right. So... Oh, yeah. Wait a minute, there's a thing beyond that? I didn't think there was a thing beyond that. Anyway, we're gonna go this way, over here. If Cal would ever run. Fuck. Yeah, like we were saying before,
No stormtroopers here either. Must have cleared out to search for the tomb.
That's good for us, but the cave will be crawling with them. I'll do what I can to monitor their movements.
Something about this doesn't feel right. The Empire doesn't give up ground.
I know. I feel it too.
Watch yourselves, okay?
You too.
That's the way? All right. After all the crazy things we've done, you know it.
Whee! Hey! Sonic 1006.
You intruder, halt!
Rolling around at the speed of sound. Got places to go, gotta follow my rainbow. Where am I going? Does it say? Oh, that's right. I know where I need to go, I think. Right? Yes? I need to go yeah, search the Venator wreck, which is up there. All right. Great. Back to killing space goats. Fuck you! Good. Ew.
Jedi spotted. I hear you. I can't hit him. Keep it. Blast him. Okay then.
Come on, get out of here.
Rewards for this.
Okay, watch this. This is pretty cool.
That doesn't scare.
And there you have it. The only reason to have a double-bladed lightsaber. That's it, right there. I heard something kind of depressing from Brandon recently. I recently got to talk to him a little bit, which is a rare occurrence these days, and he was telling me about Sonic Forces, the last like mainline Sonic game released that wasn't Sonic Mania, and he goes, I think Sonic Forces broke me. I think it broke something inside of me because I played Sonic, the recent Sonic racing game, the Sonic Transformed Racing 2 or whatever the fuck it was called, and he's like, I just bounced right off it, and then
He was killed by a cave-in. Imperial excavation is making these tunnels unstable.
And I was telling him that was such a shame because Mega Man 11 kind of like rekindled my love of the Mega Man franchise, because I had just kind of assumed that it was dead, but it is not. Oh, that's right. Okay, we can go. I think we can go get this thing in this little area back here now, I think. See, I hate
Think
to...
you can help me, PD?
I hate to hear that kind of stuff, because there's a lot of cool stuff out there like this. I mean, not blaming you, necessarily. Not my intent. It's certainly not your fault.
Yeah. Zephonian skull.
So
Killed in some kind of horrifying disaster long ago.
that's something that kind of gets me as I get older. Woo! Playing a dangerous game here. 2-hour commute and a 9-hour
Hey,
shift.
BD.
Jesus. How do you even do that? That's ridiculous. A 2-hour commute. Fuck me. Oh, well, still, that's still like, goddamn. So we got this shortcut over here that we did earlier. Oh yeah, we can go in here now. I forgot about that. First we're gonna get this idiot out of the way. Fuck you! Nope. Ow. Fuck. I wasn't quick enough. Uh-oh. Boom! Dead. Yeah, I can see that. I mean, depending. Fallout 4 fizzled way quicker than I thought it would. I still haven't played it. Did I never get that over here? I thought I'd... Oh, I didn't see the lid up. Yeah, I did get it. Yeah, I heard it wasn't great, which is a shame, because, you know, New Vegas was great. I don't know, after Fallout 76, I just really don't have a lot of faith in them doing much of anything good. Well, I mean, we'll see. I'm not necessarily writing them off completely, but I'm not hopeful. This is a completely optional area. There's nothing in here that requires your attention.
General Chiara, our forces have inflicted heavy damage to the Separatist dreadnought. Unfortunately, the same is true for our vessel. Despite the damage, I recommend we see this through, together. You know, I'm not one to back down from a fight.
Yeah, so this is all wreckage that still has power from the Clone Wars before Order 66. Yeah. Leads us back out here. And so we've already fought Ogdo Bogdo, the named little frog thing on Bogano. We just fought the albino Rosher spider, or whatever the fuck it's called. Frogo Doggo. Yeah. And the third named enemy boss, optional enemy boss, is down there. And that's the Rabid Jotaz. And fuck that thing. That thing is super hard. And I'm not gonna fucking deal with it right now. Never seen it before, officer. But there is a lot of other stuff that we can get. I think. Boom. Dead. My double saber after all. Yeah, that Rabid Jotaz that we skipped is easily the hardest of the named bosses.
Unauthorized entity detected. Investigating. You will regret that.
Ah.
Got you.
Ow.
Unessential. You cannot escape.
Shit! I always get greedy. Nope.
You'll be sorry.
BD, here!
I'm not gonna... Fuck! Son of a bitch! Boom! So this is a puzzle that took me quite a while to figure out. So first things first, there's a secret over here. And this is kind of a really
Appreciate
devious
it,
secret.
BD.
We're hit! Brace yourselves!
There was a battle. The ship went down. And we're survivors.
Speaking of board games, the only board game that, or, you know, tabletop thing that I really do is HeroClix. And, oddly enough, I've really fallen out of that recently. So yeah, the way you solve that thing is you cut that cable, and I didn't really realize that the cable was what was electrifying the water. And I cut it just because I was playing around, and then I was like, oh, that's the solution. But you need the power on to power this elevator so you can go up. And get this secret.
General, are you injured?
I'm fine, Commander. Where is Mosef? Where is my Padawan?
My men are scouting the wreckage now. We'll find them. I'm getting a transmission now. Probably the squad. Oh, hang on. It's from the Supreme Chancellor.
Man, that was really fun. I wish we had been able to do more of that on
Let's head out.
on JKP. Yeah, see the health bar for the Rabid Jotaz came out, and nope, we're not going to fight him yet. He sucks. So the JKP HeroClix project, I honestly really just couldn't make it work. I was like, I jury-rigged like this half...
Don't fall behind.
I jury-rigged this like half-cocked, almost cool way to easily 3D model people using photos. It was kind of this like 10-step process.
They're watching us, BD.
And it didn't produce good 3D models. It just didn't produce 3D prints. Because back when I started it, 3D printing was like, it wasn't as commonplace as it is now.
Can I get a stim, BD1? I owe you one.
Yeah, well, what I eventually ended up doing was I went to Hero Forge, and I just like made everybody in Hero Forge, and I was just like, well, you know, motherfucker, stop it, stop it. I got them both. Or I hurt one. There we go. Got rid of them. But I just went to Hero Forge and made everybody in the cast in Hero Forge. And I made a bunch of people. I made everyone who... Basically, I made everyone who's been on JKP. And I made... I made everyone and their spouses. And I basically made a whole HeroClix set. And I was like, I was happy with them. I was like, these look great. And, wow. Really struggling with those textures, huh? I was like, these look great. I'm really happy with these. And as soon as I get some money, I'm going to have these printed, because printing one or two was pretty easy.
I think we're getting close.
And it was pretty cheap.
I noticed
printing like the 10 that I wanted, it
it
ran into like $100. And at the time, I really didn't have $100 to
It's
spend on
getting
something
even
like that.
stronger. I think the closer we are, the worse I feel. It can't mean anything good.
And then as soon as I really kind of got the money to even really start thinking about doing this, Brandon was like, yeah, JKP's ending. So I was like, well, fuck. But I have them all written down. I have them all. I have all the pieces as notes in my phone, and I have all the Hero Forge models saved. Whoops, that's not what I wanted. The 2030 reunion tour, yeah. Probably not gonna happen. The other thing is that the other thing where I really don't play HeroClix that much anymore is that Zach moved fairly far away from me. Uh-oh. Fuck. Fuck.
Unauthorized exit.
Shit.
Still resisting? Unwise.
Critical shot.
Requesting maintenance.
Fuck. Ow. No, I need the other one. Fuck! There we go.
Unproductive, human.
Now my buddies are gonna fight.
Attack him quickly. Got you.
Gotcha. Suck it. Now we can just watch a boxing match for a little bit. Oh, that makes me sad. That makes me sad that you go through your bookmarks by force of habit. I want to reiterate just how sudden it was.
Controlled operation.
We thought that we had a lot more time to really like give JKP a proper send-off.
Analytical swing.
But our plans, Brandon had already planned to like kind of end it. But
You'll be sorry.
our plans were really cut short when he got hired by Nintendo.
Inferior Jedi.
Oh yeah, I guess that yeah, no, okay. So the story with that is Oh yeah, we get a little,
You want to climb up a zip line?
This is a reverse
This
zip
motor
line
should do the
upgrade.
trick. How does it feel?
Brandon had been talking with me, had let me know that he had been angling for a job at Nintendo. He'd been talking to various people within the company.
There's got to be a way to the tomb now.
He had been talking to various people in the company to kind of keep his name in the pot for a localization job over at Nintendo of America. And he had been working on getting that job for a couple years.
Let's head out.
And I never really I never expected it to really happen. And that's not a slam on Brandon. That's just, I was just like, he's not gonna fucking work at Nintendo.
Copy. He's too solid. Someone else get in here. I'll shoot him. Can't be that quick.
Gotcha. Yeah, I just didn't ever fathom that that would be a thing, and honestly, I didn't ever think that Heidi would want to move. I honestly thought that if he ever did get this, fuck, that's not what I wanted. God damn it! Like, if he ever did get this opportunity, Heidi would be like, I'm not moving immediately to Portland, or to Seattle. Are you fucking crazy? But she did. Fuck! I'll take the health hit, so I don't have to do... Oh! Hey, it counted. Cool. This is a little secret area. And it gets us a stem.
Captain, I think we found a way in.
The stormtrooper used these while scouting the area. Looks like he may have found a way into the tomb. Help, please.
Yeah, we did.
And I are gonna be unstoppable.
I'm glad that you think that, because we did the best with what time we had. It makes me feel old. Yeah. I remember exactly where I was when me and Brandon talked about moving the podcast to bi-weekly. Yeah. Okay, really thought that I would have a better handle on things than just jumping off like that, but I guess not.
Come on, BD.
But it really left a big hole in my life, because when I was able to actually do it, I wasn't always able to I wasn't always able to ow, motherfucker. Try it again, see what happens. I wasn't always able to devote time to JKP, but when I did, it was always a blast, and it was always like the highlight of my week, and I got to, see people and hang out with that, and I just really don't get to do that much anymore.
Fire.
You know, Harrison is always in his shop, and Tom lives very far away now, and Zach lives very far away, and Eric is out of state, Brandon's out of state. Things are just kind of blah. Oh, hello.
Mine, traitor.
These dudes suck.
For you. You're quite agile. Feel the pain. That was nothing. You're dead. This one's mine. Lucky Black. Stand still.
BD, here.
A weak blow. Die.
Boom! Suck it. Get out of here.
Really great, BD. A worker left their tools in a hurry. They were anxious to locate relics, but also careless of the history buried here.
Yeah, it's a shame how JKP had to end, but we had a good run, and I don't know. I was always really frustrated that it never really did better. That it just kind of stayed where it was. Brandon preferred that, and I know why he preferred that, and I don't really begrudge him for that, but personally, I didn't really care. I didn't really care for that, because we had a good show, we had a good cast, and I knew it couldn't last forever, and I knew that we could be a personality.
My men will double their efforts. We'll get inside, Officer Crane.
Shit. Huh. Yeah, life comes at you fast. I don't know. I feel, a lot of the times I feel kind of left out, just because I feel like a lot of people my age are moving on from things that I've enjoyed forever. And I'm just like, those things are still cool. Why would you do that? Okay, yeah. So this is a big moment here. Uh-oh.
How predictable. Oh yes, I know your name, your past, and most importantly, about Cordova. Tell me, where did he hide the holocron? Outstanding.
I love that. Cal doesn't answer her, and he just lights it up.
That was nothing. You bleed like all the others. Sluggish. A poor show of skill. I will destroy you.
That's not good. That's not a good show.
You can't win. Accept it.
Gotcha.
Amateur.
Fuck.
Very well. You won't dodge the next.
I just did. Ah. Ow, fuck.
I'm the superior fighter.
BD, I need help.
I've suffered far worse.
Oh! Beatty with the win.
You're learning. Not quite as gifted as Sear's last apprentice, but not bad.
You've been keeping count.
I'm surprised she didn't tell you. Sarah was never good at keeping secrets.
And you know her so well, huh?
She was weak. Cracked in an Imperial torture chair. Surrendered the location of her naive Padawan. They would never have found me.
If it wasn't for her, she betrayed me.
Trilla.
In the flesh.
I won't let you manipulate me.
So sure are you? When faced with a choice to protect herself or her Padawan, she chose self-interest. She'll sell you out too.
Well, I can handle myself.
Can you afford to take that chance? Your new master harbors great darkness. The look on her face when she saw what they had done to me, as I am now. She turned, exposing her true nature. She used the dark side.
She cut herself off from the Force.
Oh? How long before she cracks and betrays you too? Is that who you want beside you when you find the holocron? What would Jaro Tapal say?
You have no right to mention his name.
I wonder, what would he think if he could see his Padawan now, skulking in the shadows with a betrayer, granting her access to a legion of impressionable students?
No, I won't let anyone touch them.
I thought the same thing once.
Oh, I love Trilla. She's a great villain. Yeah. Plus, one of the first Middle Eastern Jedi in Jedi lore.
Thanks for the help back there, BD. You saved my life. And got us closer to the tomb.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not as
We found it.
big a fan
Feels
as this tomb.
different than the other tomb. I don't know. I don't like it.
There's a lot of difficult pathways here. The tomb of Bruce Timm.
I found it, but I see her. Why didn't you tell me?
Because she's a liar.
You. How?
I rerouted communication the moment you tried to contact her. Slicing encrypted transmissions was always a pastime of hers. She taught me once. There's no technique Sarah has that I haven't perfected. There's no technique Sarah has that I haven't perfected.
I don't know, this tomb has a lot of broken pathways and dipsy doodles that if you miss something, if you like look at your map and go, oh, I need to go back there, it's a pain in the ass to do. That poor guy. He tried, bless him. Woo! Didn't hit me once. All right. So this is another tomb, and it's got all these little force power dipsy doodles. There's that little thing there that we need to get a ball in there, but uh-oh, this one's broken. So we gotta go on a big adventure to do it. But we will also get a cool power while we were in this tomb. The ancient Jedi art of solving stupid riddles. You got that right.
My friend, these devices appear to simulate this planet's gravitational pull. I can't help but see it as a motif.
Yeah, so that's going to be a thing later. That just allows us to pass for right now, but it's going to come into play later. Oh, thing.
You're running out of time.
For what?
My scouts located an artifact of interest at the rear of this tomb. Even now I'm studying it, learning his secrets. It seems Cordova was rather taken with these Zepho. Perhaps enough to hide the holocron amongst their bones.
We'll see how much you learn.
Up there, the enemy! You go get him!
Come here. Dink. Nope.
He can't get them all! After him! We'll end this quick!
Come on. Come up here.
Did I lose him?
Come on.
We'll get you!
Sure you will. Just like these guys will. Let's watch. Let's watch this dude take care of some people for us real quick.
Let's go this way, BD. Yep, there you go. What you got there?
Greasy money. I don't like that paint job. An ancient spittoon.
A relic from the ancient Zepho. I sense great vanity and extravagance in this period of their history.
They just didn't care where they spit. They spit everywhere. There were spittoons right here, and they still spit on the ground. Gentlemen?
Enemy closing in. Yeah, okay. We'll end this quick.
Ow. Idiot. Stop it. Come here. Gotcha. Yeah, there we go. I think I go over here. Is there another? There is another. Thanks, Hedonism Bot. Oh yeah, the I actually had a great HeroClix match with Zach the other day. This was like last month.
What I found here is disconcerting.
Just need to know, don't you? Oh, you found something.
Hazy and smelt. I went to go visit Zach recently. I don't really get to see him very much because our schedules just don't overlap, and he lives a good chunk of time away. Like about 45 minutes away. And oh, I don't think we can do this yet because we don't have the ability. Yeah, we can't do any of this right now. So where the fuck am I supposed to go? Yeah, it's the same deal. But I visited him, and we made the most of our HeroClix time. We had a few matches. My favorite one was I threw together an Avengers team with I think I had Doctor Strange, Namor, Captain America, and somebody else. I forget who the last guy was. I assembled them. Maybe Hulk? I think it was a Hulk. But
we're never getting across this gap. Better double back and tell the squad.
Yeah, you better do that.
Jedi!
But it was that team, pretty solid team. I could, under normal circumstances, I could probably win a fair amount with it, depending on the map. But oh, I could use the skill tree. That's right. I don't really have anything cool to earn, but whatever. But Zach wanted to try out his expensive Onslaught piece that he got. And Onslaught is a bastard. I mean, obviously, but if you don't know anything, I don't remember what you know about comics. But Onslaught was kind of an overall godlike boss for. In the 90s, he was kind of like the end boss. He was the Thanos end game of the late 90s. Onslaught was like the big bad, and they finally made a colossal clicks of him. And yeah, that's the dude. You got the right guy. He looked like a buff Magneto. That was because he was the living psychic emanations of Charles Xavier that were corrupted after he mind wiped Magneto. So that's why he looked like Magneto. Because the X-Men are always doing stupid shit with mental powers. Just like to look around here. Yep, Charles is fucking shit up. His people give Reed Richards for fucking shit up, but it's really what it is Charles. But anyway, so it was my team of Avengers versus Onslaught, and Onslaught has his, especially in the lore, but this specific HeroClix piece has just a ton of bullshit, just straight
More
up
of my
fucking
soldiers
bullshit.
breach this tomb every minute.
Afraid to face me yourself?
Had your droid not intervened, I would have killed you with ease.
It's okay, buddy. Just ignore her.
She's right. But among other things, we're fighting rats. We got this. Among other things, the Onslaught piece has a wicked form of mind control, which enables you to take control of opposing characters. And he has wicked stats. He has a huge amount of range. He has 3 targets, which means he can control 3 people at once with mind control. He gets free attacks. He's just an insane piece. And Zach somehow managed to miss every single roll he made in the game. I managed to hit every roll I made in the game. And at the last moment, when he had 1 hit left, he rolled a critical miss and killed himself.
Here we go. Guys are moved back.
I love the guys that take multiple hits because they get hit the first time. They're like, I probably shouldn't do that again. Well, maybe one more time. Okay, I've learned my lesson. But maybe if I shoot one more time.
You're not getting out of here alive.
The night mode IS game? What is that? I don't think I've heard of that. Oh, models game. Night models? No, I haven't heard of that. Guess I have to go up here.
I see you. You cannot win. Miss. Your saber won't stop me. I'm not so easily defeated. I'll catch you.
Gotcha. No, you can't post links. I'm on my PS4. Oh, I think I heard about that. Don't they have a Marvel version of that too, or is it just DC? Oh, I see. Yeah. Because Zach was telling me he would really like to get his hands on it and like kind of try it so he could... Zach's a very hands-on learner. Like, you can explain the rules and he's just like, let's just play it, we'll get it. And but he was like, I tried to get some for the store and they're expensive. But as I said, I was kind of falling out of favor with clicks just because, yeah. See, for that you can get a whole hero click booster.
Part of a workforce that helped construct this tomb.
So
they died before the job was finished.
I mean, I'm all down for, you know, miniatures like that. Yeah, that's what Zach was saying. He had watched like a YouTube video on it or something, and so let me ask you this about it. Shit. Oh, I fucked that up. Do you I gotta do this puzzle right. Do you buy the individual models you want? Like, is there like, oh, do they come individually? Is there a set? Like, what's the... So you buy them individually. Well, that's good. Because my biggest, hands down, like no contest, my biggest gripe with HeroClix is that they don't do that. They do the blind, like, random box thing. And I'm like, don't do that with licensed characters. I've kind of fallen out of favor with HeroClix recently just because everyone kind of wants them to stop doing Avengers sets because, you know, Avengers is obviously a cash cow now, and they've had many, and they've had kind of lame excuses to like do Avengers sets here and there. And so we have 400 billion Iron Mans, we have 400 billion Captain Americas, etc., etc. And they recently had a and never what you need, yeah. Well, honestly, I kind of don't mind that. My issue with HeroClix was always like, let's say, yeah, no, whether you get a good paint job or not in HeroClix
the artifacts the Empire would
absolutely
have
up
missed
to
if it weren't
fate.
for your intervention on this backwater planet.
Sure it's worth the cost? I hear Project Augur came at a high price.
Stormtroopers and workers. Expendable resources.
You're a monster.
I am what Sarah made me.
I would appreciate that. That would be great. So with the rules of the game, so for example, with HeroClix, you can get a miniature that you love, but the stats and the powers are associated with that particular miniature. HeroClix just recently did a thing where they're doing what you're saying. They're selling what's called Switch Clicks bases, which are unpainted specific miniatures of individual X-Men characters, and they have specific dials that are just dials from previous sets. So, I think, or they're blank or something. But that's what they're. But they're unpainted. They're meant to be like painted and bought individually and stuff like that. With this game that you're talking about, the DC models, are the models just like
I found you.
basically like in D&D where they're there for
Saber
show?
won't save you. Bleed for me. Does it hurt? Stop dodging and fight.
Okay, because that's kind of my biggest problem up until recently with HeroClix is that, yeah, they have like 400.
Up here.
They have 400 different Iron Men and 400 different Captain Americas, but they're all specifically designed to be lacking in some area.
Stop this. Get back up. Fight me. How's it feel to bleed? Faster! Do you feel it? Jedi! Come on, attack me! Can't be over yet. I'm going to draw this out.
Toss me one, BD.
Okay. Okay, yeah, HeroClix with the sidekick thing, HeroClix used to do that. In the very early days of HeroClix, every single piece, and I think they were all separate, but you could get like rookie, normal, and veteran versions of each hero, and you could set them at those different ranges to approximate, like, oh, this is early Cyclops or whatever. But
Right there. Have to take a shot. He's too solid. Stay on you.
oh, he's a.
Move up. Now. We're taking losses. Let's end it.
Ooh, where'd the other guys go? What blew him up? Oh, did the dude blow up his?
I need help.
Support. So, since HeroClix kind of knows that they have to release a bunch of Avengers sets from now until the end of time, what they've done now, it's starting to get a little bit better now that the Fox ban is up, because HeroClix was put in a precarious. They were put in a precarious situation for a little while because they could only use X-Men sparingly. They couldn't use Fantastic Four at all. Or, I don't know, couldn't is the right word. They didn't. So for Marvel, that just meant... And also during that period, for the last few years... DC was in the middle of their New 52 stuff, and there were all these major upheavals, and nobody liked it.
I've taken the artifact back to my ship for analysis. Pity you couldn't make it in time.
Doesn't matter what you steal. You'll never understand it.
Yet you do?
You'll find out soon enough.
I'll take those odds.
But yeah, exactly. You got to keep people buying them. So what they did in order to keep people buying them is recently they've been doing much more like weirder sets, which people like, but I kind of don't. They've been doing like a set called What If, where they had all these cool alternate versions from the comic book What If, which is like Marvel's version of Elseworlds. So all these like what if versions of heroes, except they did not have any X-Men and they did not have any Fantastic Four in the what if set. So it was kind of anemic. They had a set called Avengers Defenders War, which was a bunch of in the what if set? I don't think there was. Yeah, I don't think there was. It was kind of a joke, set that people sort of make fun of because it was this whole big like what if in the Marvel universe, but it was like, but they reused a lot of sculpts inside the set, and they were just like, and it was like alternate Thor, alternate Spider-Man, alternate Iron Man, another alternate Thor, another alternate Spider-Man, another alternate, an alternate Captain America, like it was, yeah, it was less than ideal. But so as a result, for the longest time, well, again, like they did a set called Avengers Defenders War, and in that set they kind of played around with so like a normal average like pretty solid hero would cost roughly about 100 points, and the problem with that is that the whole game is like kind of assumed to be based around a 300 point game, and in my opinion 300 point games are lame. I hate those because you really don't have enough point room to really do anything cool. The game really shines at like 500 to 700 points, I think. But they kind of understood that. They kind of like got the message with that, with the Avengers Defenders War, but instead of just like revising the game to use more pieces, what they did was with this set they made an entire set that was like, what if we made a whole set of heroes that we already made before, but we make them all really cheap. Like, so instead of pieces being 100, 150 points, instead like the good pieces were like 50 points. The problem is that they have to be balanced with the bigger game at large. So basically what you had is a whole set, some Avengers that hadn't been made in quite a while. You had a whole set of just basically shitty Avengers. Like Avengers that cost 50 points, had shittier stats, and they worked well within that set. But within the idea of the larger game, they were just shitty. They've done a couple X-Men sets, which was sorely needed because, they, because of the Fox stuff, they weren't allowed to do a whole lot of X-Men sets, and it broke up all the Avengers stuff. The problem is that I have several favorite characters that I like, and kind of like Magic the Gathering or Yu-Gi-Oh, they rotate out cards. HeroClix rotates out sets every once in a while, and even though there are a lot of Iron Man and there are a lot of Captain Americas, usually I have to wait a year or 2 years to get a good Captain America. Like the Captain America that was just released in Black Panther and the Illuminati, he's a perfect Captain America. His sculpt is awesome, his powers are perfect and well balanced. over the years, I've gotten a couple of different Captain Americas that fulfill different roles, and they're pretty cool, that I like using. But because the game has a little bit of power creep, things keep getting more and more insane by small degrees over the years. Those older pieces where I was like, this is the perfect Captain America, and I use it all the time, they're no longer good. I can't really use them anymore. They just kind of get smoked. And so I have to wait for a new perfect Captain America. But when they go on a streak of like, this is Captain America, but he's wearing a cowboy outfit because it's the Old West, you know, like that, it gets annoying. Yeah, it's just the kind of thing where I was like, I have really good version. At one point, I had really good versions of every hero I liked. I had really good versions that I loved playing with. Like I had a version of Ant-Man that could transform into Giant Man. Like you could swap him out on the fly, like in the middle of a turn. So you could do a cool thing where Ant-Man was riding on your shoulder, like you could carry him into battle for free, and then he would leap off and go boot, and all of a sudden, oh shit, it's Giant Man in the middle of the field. That was a fun time. I had a really good Captain America that was really incredible for like leadership stuff, like moving people around the field, which I thought was really cool and thematic for him. The only problem with that piece was that his leadership stuff was so good, I never actually got him into battle to throwing his shield and shit. I had a devastating Thor, which was a little bit too expensive, except in higher point games. But if he was able to be used at his full potential, he was just unstoppable.
I noticed something while examining the sarcophagus. It's a very convenient location to dispose of nuisances.
You lured me here. Was this your plan all along?
You truly have the wits of a scrapper.
Yeah, this is kind of a important little thing here, so I'm gonna not.
Insurgents, don't let him escape. Watch out, he's deadly. Keep moving.
You're pretty great, dude.
Death comes for you. You're trying to trick us. Is this a Jedi? Were you even trying? Try harder. Too soon. Come, fight.
Which one do you want me to do? Come or fight?
Don't let him escape.
Oh shit.
To the Jedi.
I love his calm face there, like, oh fuck, well, that sucks.
Padawan, where is the Force?
Everywhere. It is within me. It surrounds me.
Just so. It connects you. There will be times when emotion, pain, or exhaustion trick you. You will feel cut off, isolated. This is an illusion. Your lightsaber lies there, out of reach, but you remain connected through the Force. Feel that energy around you.
Thanos, you got weird feet.
Summon your weapon.
Force is within you, around you, connecting you to your weapon.
You must ignore all distraction.
Force is with me. It connects us. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he's got the Padawan braid. Yeah. So now we have pull, and this is a rad power. I love this power. No more missing vines for me. But yeah, as I was saying about the miniatures, like, I did get a good. I'm just now to the point where I've got some good Avengers again. I still don't have a good modern Ant-Man that's as fun as the one that I had. I don't have. I mean, I don't necessarily care about things being modern legal in terms of a rule set because, you know, I'm never going to tournaments. How in the fuck? What the fuck am I supposed to do with this? Oh, they're on the side. I didn't see those for a second. Okay, so now we can pull these candles and go boop. Yeah, the power creep does make you... So, and with hero clicks it's especially egregious because...
Not part of your plan?
Luckily, I always allow for contingencies.
Oh yeah, I get new skills now. I'll see what the skills are, even though I don't have skill points. So, grasping pull, the power of friendship. That's a really good power right there. Whirlwind throw, switch attack. I like the switch attack. Personalized stems. So this is just better stems. Power friendship refills my force at this whenever I use a stem, which is kind of a broken power, honestly. Grasping pull is the very next thing that I'm getting. Bowling push is good. That's just more force power. Lightsaber throw. Like, all of these powers are really good. Like, every single thing. Like, other tiers, like the other secondary tiers and shit, they were filled with, like the kick. I haven't used the kick yet. Like, who gives a shit? The delay thrust, it's cool, I guess. This third tier is where all the goodies are, and so I want to get every single one of them, and it'll take some time. So I have to prioritize. But anyway, so I don't know if you've ever seen an actual like Hero Clicks piece. I mean, you probably have. You're in board game land, but their stats. It's not like the stats are on the piece, but it's not like you have. It's not like you have. Yeah, so you saw the dials. It's not like you had the stats are like 200 attack and 300 defense, you know, stuff like that, like Yu-Gi-Oh. The stats are like, ooh.
I bet he runs away from us. We'll win easy.
Okay, oops. Well, shit, I fucked that up. Hold this here.
Back up, I've
I didn't want to do that.
He's afraid of a real fight. leaving here alive? What's his lightsaber?
Well, you watched it. Sorry, I'm concentrating on this little battle here. Just like the other previous Guardians, you can pull the power core from them. There. Bink! Good dog. So for like 100-point standard hero, like the standard like viable piece used to be 17 defense, 10 attack, something like 7 or 8 movement, maybe 9, and 3 damage. So you're dealing with very small number ranges, which means that even 1 point, and you can't use like decimals. There's no like 1.5. That's not a thing. So any stat boost is basically, it moves that piece, at least in that category, into a different weight class. Literally, that's why the power perplex, the standard power perplex, is it's a free action to give someone +1 to any stat, and it's one of the most sought after thing. Like, entire pieces are built around being a perplexer. Fucking.
Our company will not quit.
Oh.
I'm going to end you. Go! Fight me, Jedi! All alone. Jedi! Show me your skill. Quicker than I thought. Does it hurt?
Fuck.
Don't let it end yet.
Bye-bye. Oh, bullshit.
Hit me again. Challenge me.
BD!
Gotcha. So yeah. So, for example, if someone with an 18 defense, or someone with a 17 defense would be like someone who's a human fighter, like Winter Soldier or Falcon, somebody like that. And everyone would have a defense power that would enhance things in a specific instance. So like you might have a 17 defense, but it would never just be like a naked 17. It would usually be like combat reflexes, which would give you +2 up close. So if you could base somebody, that 17 turned into a 19 for that encounter, which was, way better, which, made that piece viable. But you could still, fuck their day up from range. That guy needed to pay a little bit more attention.
This was an offering to the sage buried here. At the time, it was considered precious.
So...
Enemy spotted.
So there has not been a lot of room for power creep. My favorite example is to hit, or I guess attack, which is the number that you add to your dice roll in order to say that you actually hit somebody. See, this is the water temple of this game. This place is fucking confusing. So,
Got an intruder.
you being a little sneaky snacky. So 10 attack was the norm. 11 attack was reserved for people who were kind of exceptional. Like, you would have an 11 attack on like Thor or Iron Man or Captain America, but maybe not, you know, villains whose main deal wasn't combat or like ranged combat. There's not really a power that was like they had with Defense that's like +2 for this specific instance. So 10 attack is like the normal, and 11 attack is kind of the good exceptional, was kind of really locked in as like the how it was supposed to be and what the entire game was balanced around. When I started HeroClix, for the first few years, there were only a few pieces with 12 attack. 12 attack was reserved for people who hitting things, like being precise, was their power, like Hawkeye. Hawkeye was one of the only 12 attack pieces that existed. There was a Bullseye with 12 attack. Some cosmic beings had 12 attack. Like, when I say cosmic beings, I mean like everyone ranging from Starro the Conqueror to Galactus to Apocalypse. Like that level of person had a 12 attack. 12 attack was basically like either hitting things was your power or you were a bad motherfucker. 13 attack was only ever seen on things like Dr. Manhattan, like literal gods, like things that would take, things that you were pretty much guaranteed to lose against unless you built a specific team. Stop it. Now you see things like, you know, now 12 attack is on every villain that has any sort of expensive point cost. Like, I've seen Magnetos and Ultrons, and, Batman especially with 12 attack and stuff. Like, they give 12 attack out a lot. And you can't do that. You know, because literally a single point means that you're in a different entire weight class. So yeah. So right here, this puzzle took me a long time to figure out, and it's kind of a clever little puzzle. That's a space goat. I didn't see him against the wall. Ow. Get out of here. I want to say that there's a save point here somewhere. Is this the area with the there's stuff here, but I can't. Well, we'll do this right now. So, man, fucking get out of here!
Toss me one, BD.
God. They're actually going to kill me. That's not what I wanted.
Help, BD!
You little fucker, get out of here!
Up here!
Son of a bitch. Get out of here, God.
Throw me a stim, BD.
Okay, enough of that. Okay. So this is a clever little puzzle. You have to get these things beyond that waterfall somehow. You have to get these flaming things past the waterfall, and that's how you do it. You get it through the door there. I got it. I'm doing it right now. Shut up. Oh, there it is. I was like, where the fuck did it go? There we go. So yeah, when HeroClix has power creep,
Remains of a Zepho soldier. They were killed for stealing an offering to the sage.
it really fucks up previous generations of HeroClix, because something that was an average fighter is now literally has no use on the battlefield.
This was lit as a sign of respect and reverence for the sage buried here.
Zach recently sent me a piece called Nightmare, which is one of Doctor Strange's old villains. Nightmare inhabits like this dream world, and he's kind of a major level being that fucks with everyone's dreams on Earth. That's like his realm. Nightmare has a 14 attack. Okay, so I fucked that up. I think I'm remembering that correctly. I think Nightmare has a fucking 14 attack. Which is for 99% of pieces, that's basically an automatic hit. Like, you might as well not even roll your dice. which is insane. Like, not even that onslaught piece had 14 to hit. If you have a single perplexer, you just don't miss. Like, it's mathematically impossible for you to miss with that piece. It's ridiculous. And it sucks because HeroClix is this wonderful game with all of these really complex rules, and when you can really take advantage of the map and the terrain and the different characters, so yeah, you break that and then that shatters and then the ball goes that way. That's how you solve that puzzle. It's a really wonderful setup game with all of its rules. Like, once you really like it's very complicated, but once you understand how it goes, it's a wonderful game to play. So before we get out of here, we're probably going to have to spend time getting chests and stuff that we missed. Grasping pull, yeah. You can just go whoop, boink, and it's an instant kill. Super useful, really fun. But yeah, yeah, HeroClix, man. Yeah, what the meta is. Man, get out of here! Fuck you. You know, HeroClix really shines when you have a bunch of units together. When you have a superhero team of like 5 people or more on a team, and like coordinate them all together, and they all have different roles, like they do in the source material. That can't be right. Fuck. And you use, you know, the terrain and your powers to your advantage. Fuck! I want to go back. Ugh. But because of power creep and because of the 300-point rule and all of this kind of silly stuff, what HeroClix has devolved in is I have my main piece, I have a perplexer, I'm going to sit it in the center of the stage, and I'm going to fucking shoot at you, and do the dice rolls. Like the biggest power creep thing that they ever did, which it was instantly a bad idea. Like, it was one of those good on paper ideas, but as soon as it was like in use, people were like, "Oh, we fucked up." They were called team bases, and what they were was essentially big dioramas where you could plug in, like, say, the Avengers. You know, there were specific Avengers pieces that would plug in to this base. And some team bases were just like, collect the pieces in the set and put it into this base that you send away for, or you win in a tournament or something. And some of them were sold separately as like an entire team in and of themselves. Sounds like a good idea on paper, but essentially what they did was they turned their like team-based game where you have all these separate pieces that can move and you kind of have to direct them like troops. They turned this team-based game into
Want to look inside?
They made the teams basically into one giant overpowered HeroClix figure. That's a Constructicon skin for BD1 there. Like the team bases were basically just one big overpowered figure. And as soon as they came out, HeroClix, the powers that be at HeroClix had to nerf them into the ground. Because it didn't matter what pieces were on the base or what they could do. Just the innate powers that involved the team bases were absolute fucking nonsense. Like they could take multiple attacks a turn, and I don't know. It was ridiculous. Fuck out of here. Whee. Never had one lesson. So yeah, that's my rant. About
These
my
are the remains of a
tabletop game.
Zephonian, a laborer, worked to death.
And I kind of feel for WizKids, which is the company that does HeroClix. I really feel for them because if you do the best Captain America piece, the one that like everyone wants, that's it. You know? Like either you re-release the piece and just be like, okay, this new piece is the exact same as the old piece, but it's just modern legal now, or you just don't sell that anymore, which also isn't an option. And so, I mean, I'm gonna do another stream. Don't you worry about it. My connection was too bad at work to yell at you. Yeah, well. I'm not done. Do you see me being done? Actually, I wanted to time it so that I would do one that was, I would do one that ended at 11 and then do another one that started at 11. But my internet conked out and I missed out of about 15 minutes. So, and I have to get up there. I don't know how to get up there. I'm not sure how to get up there. Take the H out of things in your title and just lightsaber tings. Oh yeah, don't stay up on my account, man. Get your rest. Oh, that's right. That's how you do. Okay. Oh, you have snow. Lucky you. Hey Jay, good to see ya. Let me tell you something about Yoda that Yoda don't know. God, I missed that. Oh, I missed that reference.
I found you.
Did you?
Bleed for me. Stop dodging and fight. Jedi again.
I love that. They just have lines for like fighting you, but they don't have lines for like fighting other things, so they'll call rats Jedi.
Fight me, don't just die there. You're nothing.
You're nothing. Ah! Gimme. Whee! They really do. They're basically BDSM troopers. So how do we do this? Yep, they pretty much are. You're not lying. Isn't there like a scan something over here? Actually, no. All right. I guess we just walk through here then? No? There's got to be some sort of candle here that I can use to burn something. Oh, there they are. I didn't see them. Why would you shower at school tomorrow? Why is that a thing? Oh, I can't do that yet. That works. Whee! Just jump up on the... Whoops. Well... That was a big fat failure. Gimme. Oh, Mr. Bucket, put your ball in my mouth. Oh, Mr. Bucket. Do-do-do-do-do-do. All that work for this.
There you go.
And what is it?
What you got there?
A mantis paint job. It is a pretty cool paint job. So I think we've gotten everything, right? Yeah, we can get out of here now. Run, Cal, for Christ's sake. I really need a new controller. I really should have gotten one on Brack. I should have gotten one on Black Friday. All right. So we're going to go ahead and oh, I guess they despawned the enemies in here. Come on, don't be difficult. Come here. Great, it's orbiting now. Come here. Ding. Ding dong.
Here it is. I have finally found an intact representation of this sacred Zepho artifact. My friend, look closely. This is Mictril at the Vault Ambagana. You can see an object in their hand. Based on this imagery, I believe this object allows a Force wielder to perceive the mysteries of the Vault. This is the key and the guide. The Zepho Astrium. But who would destroy images of it, and why? It requires more research. However, our next step is clear. Find an Astrium, if any still exist.
An Astrium? You ever heard of it? Me neither. But a key. Yeah, I understand that. It's like we know what we have to find.
Oh yeah, you can give him you can give him a bunch of different skins. You haven't seen any of our stuff yet. You can give him pastel, kind of green, some vaporwave, dirty red. That's my favorite one, the black. Blue leader. That's his original thing. But I like the black the best. But we'll keep the Constructicon thing going on right now.
Hey, BD, in here. Okay, BD, what is it?
New poncho material. Where is it? Serape. I have a Serape poncho. Oh yeah, I guess. Two types of nerds. Yeah, Eva 01.
Very good, Padawan. You've cleared the way.
What are you talking about?
I needed this tomb raised. And now that I have
Thanks
what
for showing
I
up,
need, you're of
Illithid.
no use.
I'll get that name right at some point. I really enjoyed talking to you here.
Thanks. Hope this new encryption keeps her out for good.
Someone over there?
Yes, in fact.
A probe droid processing unit. What's it like hacking other droids anyway? Yeah, I'd feel weird about hacking people too. For a good cause though, right?
Doot 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 doot. Ta-da! Now BD1 can hack probe droids. I don't actually really know much about Billie Eilish, honestly. So, no opinion. No. We didn't get any new switches. I like my current switch. Did we get... That's kind of cool, but no, I'll keep the wrap. lightsaber tonfas that are pink. No, you can't make lightsaber tonfas that are pink. You can do this. I'm doing this, and now I'm doing this, and now I'm doing this, and now I'm doing that, now I'm doing this. Right now I can only choose blue or green, standard Jedi stuff. But there is a point where you can
check in with the Mantis. Drilla probably knows where they are.
There is a point where you can get a bunch
sure the
of
comm's fixed?
colors.
They're not answering. Something's wrong. We need to get back.
So I'm actually a couple minutes over
around.
time here.
Think it's some kind of trap? Seems like we've been walking into a lot of them lately. Wait, do you hear that? Thanks for the help.
So the reason the streams are only 2 hours is because I upload these to YouTube as well, and if they go beyond 2 hours, they begin to desync. The audio begins to desync.
Oh, sorry. I can't hear you through my busted eardrum. Whoa.
That at least that's what Brandon used to tell me when we did a couple streams, or when I did streams and he uploaded them to the JKP channel back in the day. I don't know if that is still true.
What's this?
But
what is it, BD?
I kind of don't want to risk it. Erodium. There only is since it transferred from JKP over to me, unfortunately, because I was before I got Twitch myself, and I was just like, I'm gonna tell Brandon I'm gonna stream, and I'm gonna tell him, you know, hey, I'm going to stream this weekend and you should watch it and blah, blah, blah. I had assumed, and this was my fault, I had assumed that when I told him I was streaming that he would upload the recordings to YouTube. He did not do that. Oh, Jesus.
Get up here! He's hard to track! I don't want to...
So I want to go down this way. Hey there!
You're mine, traitor.
Ah, shit.
You're quick. Damn it. That will sting.
Ow. Stop it.
Jedi. I'll defeat you. You can't stand against me. Not enough to down me. Just give up, traitor.
Ah, come on!
Limber.
Ah, I got me.
No match.
Submit, Twink. Yeah. I really... Oh, that sucks. Alright, yeah. So what I'm going to do, I really kind of don't want to or stop here because there's about to be a good, like, self-contained chunk. So, and Jay just showed up. So I'm going to take a 15-minute break, like Gam just said there. I'm going to take a 15-minute break, and I'm going to come back, do another 2-hour stream. I'm going to get some food in me. What the fuck? And I will, everyone stretch, grab a snack, yeah, and I will see you, I will see you in a little bit. As Marvin Berry said in Back to the Future, don't nobody go nowhere.